How you doing, guys and girls? Philip McKernan, and just wanted to shoot a little video about something that's been just kind of coming up for me personally recently, and something that's been coming up in the context of the work that I do with clients in a coaching capacity. And that is people are very complimentary to some of the changes they've seen me make over the last number of years. Things like even back as far as like leaving Ireland with my wife at the time, which was a daunting and scary time, moving to Canada, moving from Canada to the United States, and even things like doing the documentary, like coming up with the idea of a documentary, creating the intention around the documentary, pulling the trigger on it, and actually just executing on it. And I think the challenge is, and I've been sitting with this quite a lot, one of the challenges, we tend to focus a lot and overemphasize the end result, particularly when it comes to our observations in other people's results. And what I mean by that is people will observe these milestones, these summits, these successes, these changes, these whatever you want to call them, and they will praise you on that. I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about anybody here. They'll praise you on the end result. Wow, wasn't that courageous of you to do that? Wasn't that courageous of you to leave your job? Wasn't that courageous of you to set up your own business? Wasn't that courageous of you to leave the country you're from, to move to a different city, to have a child, to whatever, to have a conversation, to let go of something that's not serving you in your life, like a relationship or work that's just not aligned to who you are. Our friends in your life that just are not working anymore for you. And the challenge with that is twofold. Number one is, I think what we're doing is applauding the wrong thing. I think we're applauding the end result, but it's the end result. Or to some extent, it can be the end result that's the beginning of something new, but that's kind of like chapter 2 or chapter 10. But what we're not realizing, and we don't take the time to stop, and there's something very important here, so if you bear with me, is to recognize that that's the end result of something that was way more powerful, and something that happened probably 6 months before, or 2 years before, or 2 days before. And that's where the real courage showed up. And that was challenging the status quo, challenging or questioning the current reality, questioning the situation right now. Dreaming and allow yourself to dream that. So let's bring it back to some of the examples I used. Wondering and dreaming, like, am I in the right place? Do I live in the right city? Perhaps I don't. Do I live in the right country? Perhaps I don't. Am I in the right relationship? Perhaps I'm not. Am I doing the work that I'm on this earth to do? Perhaps I'm not. And it's the courage to question is where it starts. That's like the well. The courage to question. Taking the water out of the well is the execution, is the action, and all that kind of stuff, the tactical stuff. But the just questioning the current reality, the thing that you're doing, the thing that may or may not be serving you, that's where the courage requires, because that's the very thing often we don't want to question, we don't want to consider, we don't want to stop and allow ourselves to create that space to feel the misalignment in life, to feel the disconnection, to feel the anxiety that is telling us that we're out of alignment in our lives. So don't overemphasize the end result. If you want to applaud anything, applaud the courage that happened when that individual, whoever that person is, including yourself, stopped and questioned the status quo. The second thing is, and the problem when we basically just elevate or focus on or in awe of or appreciate or respect the end result, what ends up happening is, if we're here and we're respecting something deeply, an end result in somebody we've witnessed, what ends up happening is we can often create this kind of almost separation between the people who take action, make an impact in their own lives, and in some cases other people's lives. We almost create the separation. Oh, that's for them. That's for the people. There's something about them that's different. They're wired differently. Their tolerance for risk is different. I don't believe they're different. They've just executed. And there's something maybe blocking you from doing that, but that's a separate conversation. So when you overemphasize and overcompliment and over respect somebody's change in their lives, and you're looking at the end result, you're looking up and you're looking up at this, you go, wow, I don't think I could have the courage to move country. Wow, I don't think I have the courage to do a documentary. Wow, I don't think I'd have the courage to do my first Facebook Live. Wow, I don't think I'd have the courage to set up my own business, to leave the job, to step out and respect myself and maybe question the relationship I'm in, whatever it is for you. So realize that that's the end result of somebody who was here sitting next with the same challenges as you. And what they did was they questioned it and they allowed themselves to dream what's possible. If this is the status quo, what if this, even emotionally and psychologically and mentally, moved away? What could be possible? And that allowing yourself to dream was the beginning and the foundation of building the change, the transformation, the evolution of what it is you get to hear. So the point of this video is to really try and emphasize that I think we put way too much credence on the end result. You know, we look at Mel Gibson, we look at any well-known actor, Halle Berry, any of these actors. And typically what we do is we admire who they are today. Well, maybe in Mel Gibson's case you don't, I don't know, because he's gone through a tough time, but you know what I mean. And we admire where they are today, the end result, the Lethal Weapon movie, the Braveheart movie, whatever the movie is. And we go, wow, look at that. I mean, that's where I want to be, not maybe as an actor, but in terms of success. But what we don't recognize is back here, they were in these second-rate movies, third-rate movies, plays that they'd rather, if they could turn back the clock, never have appeared in. Crappy movies where they strip naked and they're now trying to, buy all the DVDs in the world to make sure no one ever sees it and obviously, stay in this space here. The point I'm making is they worked for it, okay? They made changes. There was courage. I love watching older movies where in the background you see somebody serving a drink in a bar in the background of a film. And you go, hang on a second, isn't that such and such? The one I use is Trains, Planes and Automobiles, a great old classic movie. Depending on, of course, your perspective, whether you like comedy and stuff like that. And if you ask somebody who was in that, they'll talk about the main characters. But most people don't realize Kevin Bacon was in that. And they go, Kevin Bacon? No, he wasn't. No. And the opening scene, I think it's the very opening scene when the main actor comes out, he looks across, he sees Kevin Bacon and he's run for a taxi. Kevin Bacon appears in it for maybe all of 24 seconds. He doesn't even say one single word in the film, as far as my memory is correct. But Kevin then went on to create a career of his own, and so on and so forth. The point of it is that, if we just look at where Kevin is now, or where Mel Gibson is now, or wherever these actors are now, business people, husbands, any of these people that you see as real serious action takers, what we don't realize is they started back here. They started down here in the trenches. And the courage was allowing themselves to dream, what would this look like? Is this possible? What could be the first step towards this? But today, of course, we just want to boom. We just want to get there, which is part of the problem. So hopefully this makes sense. I think it makes a shitload of sense to me. I think it's really important. And I think it's one of the reasons why certain people say to me, they may not use the words, but they almost imply to me that they don't have the type of courage required to make the changes they want to make so they can go on and impact other people. And of course, the big motivator here for me is, and the thing that I know to be true, is that when you have the courage to dream and you take that first step, what you do is you bring people with you. It may appear as you grow, people kind of move away from you, but eventually the right people will move with you. And I don't mean they'll follow your footsteps, but what you'll do is you'll blaze the trail to give them the courage to step up. So the change, the transformation, the growth that I get very excited about with people is not just to see their evolution. It's to witness the men and women, the family members, the brothers, the sisters, the husbands, the wives, and of course their children, which is a huge byproduct of this, which is again another conversation. They start to elevate as well, and to me that is fantastic, and that is to me is definitely a journey worth taking. Hope you're well. Take care and talk soon. Bye.